mother's friend, Claudette. Claudette was raised Catholic and is now 74. She loves to meditate and travel, and she has explored several faiths throughout her life.
Hello, my name is Claudette Pelletier. I was born in Fall River, Massachusetts. I'm 74 years old, and I was born Catholic.
What aspects of the faith were incorporated into your childhood?
Mostly the rituals is what I remember. Remember going to Mass, going to confession. We had something on First Friday of the month. The Stations of the Cross, around Easter. Some wonderful memories about Mass, the high Mass, or with the organ playing and everyone singing and the smell of incense. So it really filled my life with belonging to something and enjoying it.
What attracted you to the faith? Like, why did you decide to become a nun?
Well, I loved the nuns. I loved teaching. I loved how smart they seemed to be. And I loved they had this air of quiet about them. And they were talented. There was the nun who taught the choir and the nun who taught math. And so I wasn't enchanted by getting married and having children. I saw my mother with 4 children and a sick husband and alcoholic husband, and so the life of the nun seemed more peaceful, and also I was attracted to the spirituality of it. I wanted to understand what truth was. I was always looking for what was true. Wanted to know more about God and why people believed what they believed in the Catholic Church.
But you're not a nun anymore.
No, I left after 16 years.
So what led you away from the faith?
Although I was a very happy nun, the more educated I became, and I learned about the Jewish faith, the Protestant faith. The Buddhist faith wasn't so popular for me, at least in the 70s. But I knew there was a lot more, and there was. It's funny when I think about the one thing that happened that made me leave the church. I cannot even remember the one thing. But maybe it was when I told God that I didn't like having a God who was like a giant accountant in the sky, who was keeping track of everything I did and sending people to hell. I told God that I was leaving him and that I was going to go to hell with my friends who were not Catholic and who were very loving parents and friends and making a difference on the planet. So that's part of the reason why I left the convent.
But you are still attracted to some faith, correct?
No.
What are your current views on faith?
On faith. I checked out Buddhism. I even checked out Hinduism. I went to India, went to Asia for 6 months, and I had a book called Pilgrim's Guide to Planet Earth. And it was a list of all the ashrams and the holy places and all the isms. I left Catholicism, and I was looking at Buddhism and Hinduism, and there's a lot of other isms. And I found that in a way they were all the same. They all had these wonderful enlightened teachings, and there were people in them that were not as enlightened, who were still struggling, and which is very normal. But what I realized was I was not in the market anymore to join anything. But I took from Buddhism some amazing meditation skills. And Hinduism, when I was in India, is such an old place to visit. I felt like I believed in reincarnation and coming from the earth and evolving. It's an amazing feeling. So I took that from Hinduism. The Jewish faith, I love how they are with women and devotion. So there's parts of all those things that I've learned that I've left behind, and I've made my own little tapestry in my being, which is sort of in the heart, a knowing of what's true for me. And what's true for me, I totally believe is not true for everybody else or anybody else. I believe we all have to do that, figure it out for ourselves. And it's a wonderful journey to get to a place where your tapestry is not done, but there's enough pieces that it creates a foundation for these last years of my life.
So do you believe in a higher power or a creator?
I think I believe in it. I believe in a divine being. I believe that I have been tapped on the shoulder different times in my life where if they're spirit beings or spirit guides, where it was out of the ordinary, and that's happened many times in my life. So there is something more than I can see in my daily life that is a part of me. And I have met many people that have the same, maybe not the same words, but the same experiences of something beyond what we hear and see on a daily basis. So higher power, maybe that's what you call it, divine beings, spirit beings. There are people who believe that every blade of grass has a little angel saying, grow, grow. I like that. I read that in the book once. But that's probably, and I also believe that we live in this universe, but the physicists and scientists tell us there are multi-universes continually being created or brought into being. How is that happening? And so, I don't know if that answers the question, but...
It does.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.